Shalom, I'm Kashikaya. Today I will be going over basic hygiene habits. This video is really just generalized to both genders, really. It will be going into feminine hygiene, but I wanted to put a video like this out because there is a lot of youth on my page already, and there will be even more youth coming to my page. So I just wanted this to be here on my channel, so this knowledge, it isn't ignorantly neglected, so everyone can be informed and whatnot. So we're gonna get into it. The importance of consistency and timing. So repetition and consistency is going to be your best friend, because we need to bathe ourselves and shower consistently. It doesn't matter how much fragrance or perfume that you put on, or deodorant, just keep reapplying, but you just want to make sure that you're consistent with washing all of that off of your body, because your body, it builds dead cells, sweat, anything else, dirt that has gotten on you throughout the day, on you and your clothes. So we want to make sure that we are properly taking care of that. Like I said, some people need to shower. Honestly, especially in the summertime, I think it's a really good idea to shower twice a day. Some people shower more times a day, but it's really just about how active you are, how dirty you get, etc. So it doesn't matter how expensive a product is to work or how, luxurious it is. It's just about consistency of cleaning yourself and bathing, showering. Timing, timing is everything. Consistency. If you sweat overnight, you might want to take a shower first thing in the morning before work, before you do anything. And then, of course, after whatever work, if you get off, of course, you shower again if you're not gonna. For me, I like to go straight to the gym and then shower, even if I'm getting off the work. But you want to do that after work as well, consistently as you need it. Timing is very important because, again, you're going to be around people and you don't want them to smell you. You don't even want to get to that point of smelling like that. At that point, whatever old bacteria that you have that is on your body, on your skin, in your private areas, it has now reheated, to say the least, and it's now releasing even more, and it's just that creates that odor, basically, that old bacteria. So that's why I said, for some people it's not enough to just shower after work at night, and then when they get up they go straight to work. But then while you're moving around at work, you might start to give off that, and you don't want to. You don't want anyone smelling you. You don't want anyone just to even catch a whiff of that, to catch you lacking, in a sense. So that's why timing is very important, when you do it and how much you do it, how consistently, in a day, in a week, heck. And then we're gonna get into how to properly cleanse your body as well. You need to clean every area from head to toe. There should be no area left unscrubbed with soap and water. So, okay, general hygiene. This is going into washing your hands. Wash your hands before and after any and everything, honestly. We should all pretty much know that by now, but just hold yourself more accountable, because as you're going about the day, as you're touching your face, touching other surfaces, it's on you. So you want to wash it off, wash your hands. Wear socks inside the house. When I was growing up, my mom and grandmother, I think it was my grandmother specifically, always taught me keep socks on, because if you walk around, it doesn't even matter how consistent you mop your floors and clean your floors. If you walk around barefooted, sure enough, there is going to be dirt and whatnot to get on the bottom of your feet. And then you get into bed, and all of that could just be avoided with some socks or some house slippers or something, So I personally don't see how people do it. Even at the times when I did it, it gave me sensory issues because I could feel the dirt on my feet. Wear something in the house. Okay, at the toilet, so of course wipe from front to back if you just don't use new tissue, period, to because those areas should be kept separate. And the bacteria, because the bacteria in those areas should be kept separate, and you definitely don't want to bring whatever's in the back to the front. So wipe front to back. When you are wiping, it shouldn't be like you're just smudging the waste all over yourself. It should be like a folding of the tissue. You wipe, fold, picking up of the waste. Like I said, it's not just like I know that's kind of what they teach in grade school, but it should be more like a gathering, and keeping it off, not trying to spread it over as much surface area as possible. I picked that up. I don't even know how young I was, but I just wanted to emphasize that it shouldn't be like now that is if you're wiping with tissue and you have no choice. But if you do have the means, I would suggest, keeping some kind of water source near, like a bidet. You can buy one and install it on your own toilet from Amazon. You can just buy one. Baby wipes, spray bottle, with water in it, a little soapy water in it. So those are even better options because, as we know, water cleanses. That's eliminating the odor and the dirt and the waste even more, because you're washing it off. You're not just wiping it up. You're cleansing it off. So that's better. Also, if I haven't mentioned already, I am reading from my journal. I got everything in here pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna try to veer off. While on cycle. So I personally always recommend pads to women because it's just something about tampons. We never, until lately, right, until the 19 something, like we never just stuffed something up ourselves and just allowed that waste to sit in ourselves. Like, I believe that the waste should expel from your body naturally, and then you have something there to catch it. So I recommend pads. When you do open a new product to use, take that wrapper, put the old one in that new wrapper, and then wrap that in toilet paper and dispose of it. Like, at no time it should be that old trash should be like exposed, and other people can see that. So always wrap it up. For tampons, if you're going to be using them, you have to be consistent with changing them. Absolutely. Like, I wouldn't even just going the whole duration of what the company claims it can hold out on. Just do that consistently, honestly. Okay, now you're done with the toilet. When you're done with all of this, check behind yourself, wipe the seat clean, make sure you haven't left any residue, and then flush with the toilet seat down. Because if you're flushing with the toilet seat up, all of that residue, whatever's in the toilet, it's just kind of micro cells are just kind of like splattering in the air. So you want to flush the toilet. That's why home toilets have toilet lids that you can close it. Clothing. So during your cycle, you want to wear dark clothing, dark under, just dark, some kind of dark bottom, at least dark undergarments. And you don't want to be too active during this period at all, really, because it's already, you're already releasing, and then if you're too active, then you're also going to be sweaty. So that's going to be mixing together, and it's not a pleasant scent, not the wisest so to carry yourself. So if you do have some active activities, plan it before, either like right before your cycle or plan it after. But during your whole unclean week, just do the bare minimum. Carrying a purse. So of course, carry a purse to tote your hygiene products, but also I would recommend carrying just a purse in general, like all month long, because I mean, sometimes it's just so obvious when people have purses on only 1 week out of the month, and it's like they don't have it on any other time, you know? So it's like, I don't know if that's just me, but to be discreet as possible, always just kind of carry a purse, carry a bag. And going back to discretion, like no one should be able to tell that you're on your cycle. The way these feminists portray it today, like old, loud and proud, and you know, they go out and they bleed in public, like we're not on that. We're being discreet. No one's gonna know that we're on, and we're gonna stay clean all throughout this process. Okay, in the shower. So you're gonna need something to scrub your body with. Your bare hands themselves aren't just gonna clean your body. You need something abrasive to rub against your skin and get those dead cells up. Like I said, it's not just surface level dirt. You actually need something to scrub that. So you can get a washcloth. You can get, imagine if this is a African net sponge, you know, you can get a net sponge, and that can, like, you know, get in all types of places that you can't reach. While using a washcloth specifically, I would suggest having one for your face, one for your upper body, and then one for your backside and your lower body. Just kind of swap them out throughout the week. Wash them. You know, you can hand wash them with detergent in your sink if you can't always get to a washing machine. And the reason for just having different rags for different parts of the body is just so there won't be any cross contamination. You know, Lord forbid that you're wiping your backside, you're scrubbing your backside with the same rag that you're like cleaning your face with, you know. Also, I recommend washcloths. Like you can use loofahs and, like I said, like a African net sponge. But washcloths get in creases that you can't really get into with the other things. They might not like hit those areas well, especially if, you know, you're a bit on the bigger side. So I always recommend, like, you know, a washcloth, because you can put your finger in it and get whatever places you need to get. Also, it should take you more than 5 minutes to shower, like just in general, right? If you're scrubbing every part of your body, yes, your legs and your feet included, your back, your ears, behind your ears, just everywhere, not just hot spots and get out. Like if you're thoroughly scrubbing, it should at least take you, I would say on the fast end, 15 minutes or more. Just a personal rant. Like I was always complained about growing up in my house because they said that I took too long. And, you know, looking back, I was like, you know, I really used to enjoy cleansing myself. So I can see that. But then at the same time, I'm like, I can't take a 5-minute shower, just get in, wet myself, and like get out. Like, are you even cleaning how you need to? Probably not, if it's that short. When you do scrub these areas, like rinse and scrub them with a soapy rag, like multiple times. Like, you know, especially the hot spots, what people call it. Like, it shouldn't just be like a quick whoosh of like soap and water over against that area you rinse and you're out. Like, you know, take the time to scrub and do that like 3 to 4 times for, you know, every area, basically. Okay, mani-pedi. So you can buy a cheap mani-pedi kit from Walmart, like from anywhere really. You know, it includes like a pumice stone, a grater, a cuticle cutter, a nail scrubber for scrubbing, cutting dead skin and your nails around the nail, under the nail, your toes, your heels. Basically, you're just getting all of that. And you know, it's really good to at least do that once a week. It's like great. Some people go longer, but just as long as like you're hitting that every now and then and you're not letting corns and other stuff like just build up. Okay, hair washing. So it's a myth that dirty hair grows your hair. You know, it's not the fact that your hair is dirty and oh, just keep it dirty for months and months and go months without washing your hair, but it's a fact that it's the low manipulation that you're giving your hair. So you know, the more that you're manipulating your hair, you're in it, you're detangling it because you're doing all these styles, the more that your ends will break and dry out and break off kind of more than your hair is growing because you're just manipulating it so much. I know this well for kinky hair especially. So it's not the fact that you're keeping your hair is dirty that can actually stunt your hair growth. So you want to make sure that you wash it, but then you put in protective styles. It's clean, it's in a protective style, you know, every few weeks or whatnot, you wash it again, and it's that repeated cycle. But you don't go months with dandruff and dirt and oils just caked up and product just caked up on your hair. Like, don't do that. Disclaimer as well for hair products: the more that you put hair products in your hair and the more that you use them, obviously the more that you're gonna have to wash your hair. You know, you use gels and stuff like that, it flakes up and whatnot. So that's something also to be wary of. I suggest investing in a cheap scalp scrubber just to make, you know, this whole process easier, as well as detangling 1 to 2 days before you wash. Just set aside time to pre-detangle your hair, pre-wash, and then wash it, and then you'll have to detangle it again and style it or blow dry it, whatever style you're gonna put it in. But that makes it a whole lot easier because in the process of washing your hair will tangle. So you don't want to tangle it more by not detangling it in the first place. So, okay, getting into washing your scalp. Part your hair in 4ths or 8ths. So like the way I do it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or that can be broken down into 8ths if you want. And I'm getting my scalp, you know, don't just swoosh the shampoo all over your hair. Don't scrub your scalp at all and just rinse and like now you're clean. While one part is parted, I want to like hold it out and I just want to kind of like really get to my scalp all around with my fingers, you know. So that's what you want to do. Keep your hair elongated. So keep it, you know, you can keep it under the water. You can just hold it, honestly, hold it up and just use the other hand to really get at your scalp and scrub. And then, like I said, get that cheap scalp scrubber that you bought from Beauty Supply and scrub it, and you know, you'll be good. You want to wash your hair also, you know, at least 2 to 3 times, honestly, because you know that first wash is just the shampoo getting that surface level product off of your hair and off of your scalp, your hair strands. But then that second and third wash will really be the clarifying wash. Also, clarifying shampoos and moisturizing shampoos, you know, people recommend that you get both, basically. And you know, you use a clarifying shampoo that will strip all the oils and dirt out of your hair and scalp, but then you use a moisturizing shampoo to kind of bring some of that moisture and oils back in your hair, basically. Also, if you really want to know if your scalp is clean, if you grow your nails out a little bit more and you scrape that area, you know, with your nail and you still see dandruff under your nails, then you know it's not clean. So that's why I say get all this stuff and do the technique to really like scrub it. Okay, and then after shampooing, you want to apply a conditioner that is sulfate and paraben free, you know, preferably. You know, you want to detangle with the leave-in conditioner, and you know, after you detangle, you can put your oil or grease in your hair to lock in that moisture, and then you can style it however you're going to style it. Maintain your hair even in those styles. So if your ends are out, keep your ends moisturized and sealed with grease or hair oil. If you go on YouTube and search up how to refresh your hair in braids or whatever you're gonna get, like you're gonna find some content of people showing you however to refresh your hair in a hairstyle. So I recommend that. If you're gonna silk press your hair, please use heat protectant so you won't fry your hair. I did that all throughout high school, and yeah, it took me a long time to get my natural grain back. So that's what I recommend as well. Okay, oral health. Always aim to brush your teeth after eating, like after you went to sleep and you woke up, just after long periods of consistently brush your teeth, brush your tongue, your gums, the walls of your mouth, etc. Especially after you eat. You can also travel with a toothbrush and a mini toothpaste as well. Like you can brush your teeth at work, you can brush your teeth at school. I did it, I still do it. Also with your toothbrush, when you're brushing, you want to hold it at a 45-degree angle so that the bristles can like get under the folds of the gum as well. That's very important. I learned that in high school and have been doing it ever since. It's very important. And then of course you want to floss. Honestly, you want to floss before you go to sleep, you know, before you go long periods without eating. Like I said, because that gunk that's on the surface of your teeth is also between your teeth and in the grooves of your gum. So, you know, it's important to floss as well. I have these dental flossers. I haven't even looked into getting like a water flosser, but you can also get that. You can get the traditional string, whatever will help you, honestly. And if it is in your power, and if you're able to go to the dentist, go to the dentist. They recommend twice a year, so maybe at least once a year to just get a general clean, to let the dentist clean your teeth for you. So that can prevent cavities as well that will come. Also, if you still got your wisdom teeth in your mouth, just make sure that you're getting into the gum folds as well in the back of your mouth, because that can just build up. Like if you still got your wisdom teeth, like I know I have to go around mine and, you know, basically really take the end of this pick, the really sharp end of that pick, and, you know, scrape that out basically. So do that as well for the top of your mouth, the top set and the bottom set. Just stay consistent with that and you should be fine. Of course, you can also use mouthwash, but like I said, it's just about the consistency of brushing your teeth, period. Like brushing your teeth, a tongue scraper. I haven't order a metal tongue scraper and, you know, scrape your tongue before you brush your teeth and after, and then also like brush your tongue with the toothbrush. You could also do oil pulling for teeth whitening and other benefits. It just, you know, they say it helps rebuild the minerals in your teeth from any pores that has broken down and left. So oil pulling with coconut oil can rebuild that. After you've brushed your teeth, you can also swish some coconut oil in your mouth and spit it out. Now we're gonna get into dirty laundry. If a washer isn't attainable, hand wash with detergent and a scrubber brush for underclothing and clothing. For clothes worn multiple times, that will be worn multiple times before you wash them, you want to make sure to hang them up so that they can air out. So, you know, don't be pulling clothes out of your dirty clothes pile to wear. Like, if you're gonna wear something again, like jackets, hoodies, you know, just sweatshirts, like things that can be worn a couple of times before they're washed, hang it up. Always, always, always washed heavily soiled and dirty clothes away from everything else. Like, give those a special treatment of its own. If something is caked in mud, you know, you wouldn't just throw it in the washer with everything else. You would set it, get it alone, scrub it best you can, wring it, scrub it, wring it, and then throw it with everything else. So do that for anything that is stained with anything like blood, you know, or just other dirt. Housekeeping. So just as personal hygiene, keeping a clean space and environment is all about consistency. It's very important as well. You don't need a lot of cleaning products, you know, even if you just have dish soap and some sponges, designated scrubbers to certain areas of the house, that will suffice. And like I said, it's just about consistency, how consistent that you clean. You know, like I said, if you don't have much, you can still clean with the little that you got. You know, just use water and whatever else you got. It's no point in buying expensive cleaning products and then only using them like once a month. Like, if you're gonna clean consistently. And like I said, you don't even need that expensive product in the first place. Be influenced by these influencers trying to get you in overconsumption. But anyways, so the biggest areas that need to be cleaned daily, weekly, you know, just routinely, like, you definitely need to make sure like you keep it in rotation. It's like the floors, bathrooms, kitchen, which includes the dishes, refrigerator, counters, oven, kitchen table. I would recommend not allowing shoes to pass the entrance of your home, just to keep your floors clean and just so you won't have to hit them so consistently, honestly, because your shoes have touched all the bacteria there is outside. Like, there's feces outside on the ground and you have stepped in it, and now you're tracking that all throughout your house. So I would recommend no shoes in the house, and you can make a designated shoe place at your entryway. I recommend also a designated eating place in the home and no eating in the car, because we know how gross that can get. You know, if you got children, then, you know, just kind of make that rule of only eat at the table, you know, and then do that for yourself as well. Like, if you can help it, and if you have some other piece of furniture to go sit on, you know, get out your bed with that plate of food. Don't eat anywhere else than the table. Wipe down objects that get handled daily, such as light switches, doorknobs, handles, your phones, and remotes. That is all in my journal, but I will also just touch on, like, you know, spiritual cleansing and what you eat as well. What you eat plays a big part of how your body breaks down certain bacteria, and, you know, that'll go into your acne, that'll go into how you smell as well. You know, if you smell more horrible than usual, then you've been eating more horrible than usual. You know, you need to intake water as well, because if you're not dehydrated, if you are dehydrated, that can be a problem. You know, spiritual health, of course. I think we all know the ways of how to lock in with God in these last days. It's about what you do and don't do. You know, you do want to pray, you do want to read, you do want to fast. Fasting as well. Fasting is very good for the body, just on a physical level, but it also cleans spiritual impurities. And you also don't want to do certain things. So you don't want to subject yourself to evil all the ways that it comes, whether that be through music, whatever you listen to, the people who you are around, because whether or not, and you can research this, but literally what you subject yourself to is how you are subconsciously. It affects your mental psyche. So if you're always just listening to freaking rap music, secular, degenerate music, if you're just always around negative people who are spilling negativity out, who don't have no goals, no ambitions, no care for God, and if you're always also eating crap food, then you're gonna feel like crap because your body literally is getting fed crap and it's not getting the nutrients that it needs to even release those happy chemicals correctly, dopamine and the other things. It actually affects you, physically, what you listen to through, what you see, what you hear, what you eat. It literally affects you. So yeah, this is the end of this video. I hope that helped someone. I hope that helped anyone that it was meant to reach. And I hope to continue releasing videos like this just to help the youth and whoever else needs it. So God bless y'all. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace and shalom.